very happy to have you today for this interview. We wanted in this session to look at the role of procurement in getting access to new technology innovation. And I know you've got some interesting example to share in this field. Could you let us know what this is about?
Well, we were discussing for a long time now inside the company about the possible introduction of digital functionalities to our products. We all know it's an absolutely important feature of nowadays products. And we were wondering how to bring this so-called digital functionality the best way for our customers to our products. This is how we started to analyze all the field of digital and trying to figure out what could be the right products, the right development orientations, what are the functionalities, what are the capabilities, which would really bring added value to our consumer. This is how all it started about.
Okay, thank you. And why is procurement playing a key role in this project in your company? What's your unique contribution from a procurement standpoint?
Well, it is a very complex and comprehensive topic. In fact, in the very beginning, and it's now some, I must think a little bit, some 8 years ago, when we embarked on the journey, we first started to, as I mentioned, to analyze what might be the features, what are the product values, who can be the outside partners bringing us the right knowledge, the right inputs. So we started by screening the market, what exists, what does not exist, what could be helpful, who are the partners, who has the knowledge about, who can bring us the added value. We in parallel started the research project internally, and we involved some outside institutions, and we went into the broader screening with the potential outside institution. We worked on the kind of prototype mock-up like 7 years ago. And with this, we are starting to build our internal insight into the product, into the field, our internal awareness, our internal knowledge, and all the time it was with outside partners. And all the time we were also testing different suppliers who had, I would say, on the shelf, in the offer or in the potential developments, the various partial solutions which were covering partially what we are looking for. And all this went in big part also through purchasing, steering the relationship with potential outside partners, learning about their capabilities, learning about their strategies, what are their development plans, what are their knowledge, technical, product capabilities, competencies, are they also fitting in terms, I would say, of customer-supplier or partnership relationship with Adria. All this we were screening, and all this is a job of purchasing. Nobody else can really do it in the most comprehensive way. But on the other hand, it meant also that we had to liaise very narrowly with our technical departments, with our product management department, with our sales, with general management, as well as it is a pure novelty, and this digital is also the untraditional sectors who usually are not involved in the supplier or new product development categories like IT. They were brought in, and they have brought in their part of expertise, their part of judgment, helping to establish the right evaluation of costs, the right evaluation of what are the right knowledges, right capabilities, what is trivial, what is complex, what is new, what is existing, what is on the shelf. So all these things had to be learned through the past. Then we embarked with one supplier solution, which proved not to be very successful. And in parallel, we were maturing the prototype, the maquette we had built 7 years ago together with one institute here in Slovenia. And the team who was working on this vehicle, on the product, on the vehicle, we slowly learned the team, their knowledge, their capabilities. It was a team of researchers from various departments of this technical institute here in Slovenia. And these departments are, in fact, on the top level knowledge, I would say internationally, if not globally. It's on the artificial intelligence, it's on the digital competencies, remote technologies, and all this. And we learned more and more about them. And some 4 years ago, we started to discuss with them, would it be possible to generate together really a commercially viable project. We were with them participating in three European community sponsored projects. And through all this, we built the right knowledge of each other, the right trust of each other. And at one moment in time, we clearly set up the whole framework, and we built the relationship with them. They formalized a spin-off company at the institute, and we embarked in the contractual relationship with this spin-off company. And this is, all these were all the time managed among different departments internally in the company. And it was all the time thoroughly monitored with purchasing or through purchasing, what can be the relationship.
So thanks a lot. That's really very interesting cases. Maybe to summarize, why do you think it was so essential to not just work with an established supplier, but to go to such a spin-off from a university? What were the true benefit that you got out of this?
The true benefits is that we formed the judgment internally that we would like to have the key influence on all the software and hardware technologies which are involved in the project, that we have to master them internally. That was the main, I would say, the reflection behind. And when you go to, if I say so-called traditional supplier, it was more a bargaining situation. It's a bit more complex, and then some suppliers are strong in hardware, but they're not as strong in software. Suppliers who were approaching maybe haven't shared completely the same vision we have, and then is the question of also data which are generated through this type of products. Who is the owner of the data? Who exploits the data or potentially exploits the data? What can you do with that? And everybody is in a way having a genuine interest in future how to take control of the data. And the question is who generates them, how we share that. And it was pretty difficult to figure out or to define with a traditional approach, supplier customer approach, to really define proper setup. And also the knowledge, the combination of low knowledge which existed is not something which easily exists within an organization, it's the same for our organization. We do not have all the necessary internal, or we haven't had the necessary internal capabilities and knowledge. So you have to take recourse to somebody who is non-traditional, who is completely out of our usual scope of supplier market in our industry. We had to go outside our traditional ways. That was simply, I would say, for type of product and solution we are looking to, a must.
Very interesting. So really show how this is allowing you to, retain both technical and some commercial control, but working with, a very unfamiliar and traditional type of a player. Certainly, this required to manage the relationship with great care. So how did you make sure you were progressing with them on the right agenda?
What I already explained, we took quite some years to learn mutually about each other, to learn the knowledge, to develop the understanding, to build a decent level of trust, to be persuaded in the competencies this company, this supplier is bearing with them. And after that, in a way, it was very traditional project management indeed. So it's traditional project management approach after that. They were able to build really detailed master plan and time frame and project plan, properly addressing all the aspects. We have put all that in the contractual relationship, and we shaped the contracts the way it suits this new environment, not just typical supply contract. After that, it was a regular project work and regular milestone tracking. And this milestone tracking, it was done on the project level with the supervision of the project, and different executive directors from our company were involved in the milestone meetings. And then it was thoroughly followed also in our internal general company gate meetings, which we do run every year regularly. So it was, in fact, tightly controlled, tightly monitored from all levels.
Well, thanks a lot. Maybe as a conclusion, we're seeing these days that we'll see some acceleration of digital project in the post-COVID period. What did you learn out of such a project, and what would you share with peers in terms of recommendation?
Well, first thing we really learned, you need to know what you're looking for. So you need to take proper time to define what are unmet needs of your customers, and also what are the potentials in technology across industries, not only in your industry, or maybe in a scientific field, in a research field, to figure out how to build then the right product. This is probably the first step. Second is do the necessary screening, and again, go broad enough to find proper partners, to identify where the competencies lie, and you have to be prepared to left behind your traditional frameworks, your traditional criteria, to be able to embark with probably some different type of partners, suppliers. And then you have to develop proper internal alignment with all the stakeholders. It is necessary to develop this alignment to do enough of, I would say, product testing, prototype or maquette testing, in order to prove that the concepts you're embarking for are the ones which will really meet the market needs, because at the end of the day, what we are doing is we are developing product to sell to the customers and to make the margin on them. We are not developing for the pleasure of having a research project. But at the end of the day is the margin and is the profitability of the supplier and profitability of our company. It's all the time the same story. And then what was also very key is we had extensive testing and discussion also with the markets through our sales and product management to really steer the proper content of the product, which at the end proves to be a winning field. And we are right now stepping up the use of the product we have developed with this startup company. So volumes are in front of us, and we are pretty sure that also the margins we have been looking for are also here.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.